Hello and welcome to video number 3 of me trying to learn game development and Unity. So while at work today, I was tinkering with a little bit of code in my spare time and working on my game. Well, I thought it would be fun to share this game-breaking bug I had made that killed my laptop briefly. I somehow created an infinite feedback loop of enemy characters that exponentially spawning themselves onto the screen, and my poor little laptop couldn't handle it and it died. I revived it, but it briefly died. Well, I thought it would be fun to reproduce this bug at home and show everybody what happened with that. But as fate would have it, when I plugged the code into my home PC, it just works. I don't know why. I don't know why it was broken before, so I don't know how to reproduce it. So instead, we're just gonna do a progress update on where I'm at, and I'm going to showcase a piece of script I made that I'm kind of freaking proud of. You see, I had this idea. I wanted my character to be able to move through the screen on the left and pop up on the screen on the right, like, you know, Scorpion used to do back in the old Mortal Kombat on Nintendo. Instead of looking up any tutorials on how to do that specifically, I decided to try to challenge myself a little bit and just make it work using the stuff I had already made. And after a couple of days, 2,000 cups of coffee, Unity documentation, and looking at the way things are worded in the other scripts I have running for this thing, I actually managed it. And it felt great, too. I really felt victorious after that one. Like, I rode that high for a moment. Now, if I could direct your attention to my whiteboard here and wonderful graphics. This is an explanation of how it's supposed to work in my head. So the blob here, the bean, is the player character. Your Ottoman here is your enemy. The Ottoman Empire is attacking. Now, later on, I want them to fall, Ottoman Empire to fall from up here down and killing your player. Right now, I do have it set up to where it respawns your player whenever they touch. But anyways, the way my edge movement script works is you have your edge colliders here and here. One for left, one for right. When your player character touches one of these colliders, the code transforms his position and basically just teleports him just outside of screen view to this diamond here. So if he hits this collider, he moves to this diamond. I'm doing this in the camera, so I'm having a hard time seeing. But yeah, so when he hits this collider, the game teleports him over here, and it looks like he's just moving all the way through. You have continuous motion. You can just keep running and never stop. Now, the reason I did it that way, I don't know. Is that the best way? Probably not, but it's working, so that's all I really care about. Now, I did really need the character to be able to move through the screen, because when objects are falling at the character, I want the player to have an option to not get stuck in the corner. If a bunch of objects are coming right down and you can't go forward anymore, you at least have the chance to jump through the screen and rescue yourself. Allow me to demonstrate. So here we have our character, the Bean, and he doesn't move because I haven't clicked on the screen. Yeah, he moves from left and right. He can still jump, but when he hits the screen, bam! He teleports over there to that side. So I don't want him stuck right here if objects are falling and not being able to go anywhere. I want him to be able to do that. And I am proud with how that looks. You can't tell the player is actually just being teleported from one side to the other. This is the bit of code that's actually running that. So we have our public variables here that the Unity editor can pull and I can adjust as needed. We have our new private void with the on trigger enter 2D. And from my understanding, basically what that does is it runs the rest of the code when it detects a collision. So I have some edge colliders, as you saw, set up on the sides, and when they detect another collider running into them, they go and run these if statements, which basically, if an object, a game object, has the player tag on it, it just teleports it to whatever position that this code is attached to tells it to teleport to, which is the side. So I could pick which side I want to make that. And it's the exact same thing for the enemy, just using the enemy tag. At least I think that's how that works. Then I had another win today when I actually figured out how to get enemy objects to spawn above my character and fall down and kill him. That code is actually basically the same as the code you saw before, but when there's this bottom edge collider, Shear, has a bit of script on it that when an object tagged enemy hits it, it gets shoved up above the player's view in a random location in this area. It's not the best way to do it, I know, but it's a way to do it, and that's what we're working with here, because it's the way I figured out how to do it. Don't get me wrong, wave colliders, collider spawners, it's a spawner. Wave spawner is a thing, and they sound really neat and would be really useful, but right now it's just, it's a little outside of my ability to not hurt myself thinking too much. Now with that code implemented and you're in the game, this is what it looks like. And here we have it. This is what the game looks like now. So we have our Ottomans, they're attacking, falling from the sky, and if our player runs into one and gets hit in the head, he gets sent back to the spawn point. He can run through the screen to get away from them. Oh, I didn't make that one. This is kind of challenging. Now, the one thing that does kind of annoy me is it kind of when one of the the enemy tags hits, it respawns all of them, which sets it up to where, for the most part, they're generally in the exact same location when they're falling down, which isn't all that interesting, but it's something. Anyways, that's where I'm at. That's been a week's, well, not really a week, since Monday to now, which is now's Wednesday, so 3 days worth of messing around, and this is where I'm at. I'm not sure what the next thing I need to do is at the moment. I keep trying to work on sprites for some reason, and I know that's not something I should be worried about right now. I need to get the basic game mechanics down, but sprites are just cool, man. Anyways, I've flapped my gums enough. Thanks for stopping by if you did. Hit the buttons down below, and if you want to tell me I'm an idiot and I'm doing things really stupid like, go ahead. The internet's great for that. That's one reason I'm posting this stuff here. Somebody's going to see this and be like, hey, I have a better idea, and tell me exactly what I need to do and how to make the game. Which I'm okay with. I'm a big fan of criticism. Yeah, take care, have a good one, and goodbye.